then
just listen this guy. Cool. Just listen this guy. Cool. Guy. I. Just let it cook. Just let it cook. Just let it cook. Oh Jesus Christ. Skibbity toilet. Let's go guys. Skibbity toilet. Let's go guys. My neck is so skibbity right now. My neck is so skibbity right now. Wait, how is the thing? Wait, how is the thing? Rubber. Wait, I just noticed. This caught in the mess. This caught in this grass. This caught in this grass. It's on.
something a little irritating. The movie was approaching the iconic chicken jockey scene, and a few moments before it got there, this happened.
You want me to fight the chicken? It's a fight to the death, kid!
What just happened?
It's a fight to the death, kid!
What just happened?
Hey everyone, I know you can't see me, but for the safety of all people, if anyone throws anything during this next scene, you will be escorted out. The police will be called, okay?
Well, after that little endeavor, I'm sure you're now wondering how the chicken jockey scene went. Well, first of all, after that announcement took place, it worked. I don't think I saw a single piece of popcorn fly through the air. But as for the chicken jockey reaction, it wasn't bad, but it definitely could have been a lot better. Take a look. So the Minecraft movie has gotten so bad that this theater decided to do something a little irritating. The movie was approaching the iconic chicken jockey scene.
This is the book of Revelations.
Bad game idea. It's a horror game where the monster is the house that you're in, but not like Monster House, like the back rooms. You enter a house that's the equivalent of an enemy stand, where each room has a new horror gimmick. The hallway is the PT hallway. The dining room is the Lost Woods puzzle from Ocarina of Time. And the deeper into the house you go, the more liminal it gets. Non-Euclidean hallways, doors that lead to random rooms of the house. And the deeper you go, the more the house messes with you. YouTube! Bad game idea. It's a horror game where the
I was indispensable. I kept Walter White out of jail. I laundered his money, I lied for him, I conspired with him, and I made millions. If he hadn't walked into my office that day, Walter White would have been dead or behind bars within a month. Fact is, Walter White couldn't have done it without me. You got that? I was indispensable. I kept Walter White out of jail. I laundered his money, I lied for him, I conspired with him, and I made millions. If he hadn't walked into my office that day, Walter White would have been dead or behind bars within a month. Fact is, Walter White couldn't have done it without me. You got that?
So not too long ago, I made a video about how Katy Perry went to space and then she did that whole thing where she dramatically kissed the ground even though she was only in space for like 2 minutes. Anyways, I didn't realize it till now, but I came across this post that said Katy Perry has returned from space, and then Wendy's replied to it just saying, "Can we send her back?" Out of all people to say that, the Wendy's corporate Twitter account was the last thing I'd expect. Anyways, it seems like Katy Perry's team did not take this lightly. An unnamed source that was apparently close to the situation said that Wendy's post was shameful bullying. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that's a little bit too much. Let's be honest, Wendy's is known to be a troll online, especially on Twitter. So not too long.
This picture right here caused a massive uproar in 2009 because people really believed that Google Earth had found the lost city of Atlantis. Now, the legend of Atlantis comes from Greek philosopher Plato in 360 BCE, an island that disappeared into the depths of the sea in a single day and night. He said the city existed somewhere around here, and the legend is stuck for the past 2,000 or so years. Now, historians have given little credit to Atlantis actually existing for 2 reasons. 1, imaginary cities were a common literary device for Plato's time, and 2, Plato said the city sank 9,000 years before his time, and the legend had been passed down by poets, priests, and others, but his writings about it are the only known records of its existence. Until 2011, when a team of archaeologists used deep ground radar, digital mapping, and underwater technology to survey the marshlands of Donna Ana Park in Spain. And what they found was consistent with what could have been a city buried under the mud by a tsunami somewhere around 5000 BC. This is much later than when Atlantis supposedly sank, and hardly a city under the sea, but it very well could be where the legend of Atlantis. This picture right here.
Yo, I'm gonna access your number right here. Nice to meet you. What the fuck? Why are you giving me this?
It's just like, I just want to say thank you.
For what?
Yeah, that's for real. Career.
But just give me a higher donation? These are millions of dollars.
So I give you these to just give it away.
Just give it away?
Yeah, no problem.
Is this Mr. Beast in Korea? By the way, bro, what's your name though? Like, you're just anonymous.
David.
David.
Yeah.
Put up W David in the chat, bro. W David in the chat.
Everybody say W.
W David.
Excuse me. Hola. Can I have butter for the bread, please?
Olive oil? Yes?
No, not olive oil.
Yeah?
I don't want oily bread. Butter, like.
So not too long ago, a man from Japan was climbing Mount Fuji and then didn't feel well, so he was airlifted off the mountain by a helicopter. And that's when he realized he left his phone up on the mountain. So what did he do? He climbed back up the mountain a second time just to find his phone. And after climbing over 12,000 feet once again, he was found lying on the ground with injuries, and rescuers had to take him down the mountain once again. Unfortunately, none of the news articles about this even tell us if he got his phone back or not, so we're kind of just left on a cliffhanger here. Regardless, I feel like it would have been more cost effective to just buy a new phone. So not too long ago, a man from Japan was climbing Mount Fuji and then didn't feel well, so he was airlifted off the mountain by a helicopter. And that's when he realized he left his phone up on the mountain. So what did he do? He climbed back up the mountain a second time just to find his phone. And after climbing over 12,000...
What can I do for you?
Have a seat. Please. I would like to know why you wouldn't meet with me yesterday.
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
I sat here yesterday waiting to meet with someone. I believe that person was you.
I think that you're confusing me for someone else.
I don't think I am. I was told that the man I would be meeting with is very careful, a cautious man. You should give me another chance.
I don't think we're alike at all, Mr. White. You are not a cautious man at all.
Are you familiar with my product?
I've been told it's excellent.
It is impeccable. It is the purest.
Funny you're fat. I bet he can, Ed.
Once you turn 18, nobody can help you. Your mom, your dad. I'm just trying to teach you discipline now. I'm trying to help you out, and you don't get that. As a brother, I'm really trying to help you out. I'm trying to make sure you streaming.
Do not care.
You're just gonna learn the hard way, bro.
I hate you, bro.
Just chill out, bro. Just really chill. There's no need for you to say that. Why do you hate me? Huh? My mama always told me not to hate anybody. Hate is a strong word. Like, you should never hate anybody. Never. Like, chat, I don't even hate Messi. It's not good to be hateful. My mom always told me that. Once you turn 18, nobody can...
Pure gold is actually really soft.
Unless you've never really played around with true 24 karat gold, you don't really realize how soft it is. This TikTok that I got tagged in said,
"How did you die in your..."
The trailer for the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie released, and it looks... Okay, positives first. The animatronics look amazingly accurate to FNAF 2. Seriously, the toy animatronics look nearly one-to-one, and especially Mangle looks great. And this scene in particular looks cool, like there's a Freddy fan event for people who love the restaurant. However, the actual trailer has me slightly worried. It looks like they're just doing a story where the animatronics have broken out into the neighborhood and are attacking people, which seems a little cheesy. But one thing I do know about Scott Cawthon is he always tries to improve his projects from fan response, and they've confirmed that this sequel will try to fix the things the first one got wrong, such as being more scary. So listen, even if I didn't think the trailer was amazing, I'm still gonna trust Damatemi and Scott Cawthon. Although I'm still upset it's not a prequel. But now you know how. The trailer for the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie released, and it looks... Okay, pause.
This is me at an airport, which means I'm going somewhere. But where? Well, here. That's right. I was lucky enough to be invited to Mojang's studio.
Is there somebody watching right now มีใครดูอยู่หรือเปล่าตอนนี้มีใครดูอยู่หรือเปล่าถ้าเกิดมีคนดูอยู่พิมพ์ในแชทหน่อยสกิบิดี้มีคนดูอยู่3 คนใครได้บอกด้วยพี่ออมบอกก็ได้คือคนดูคนที่3อ่ะก็คือเลี้ยวอยู่เข้ามาดูแล้วเนี่ยแล้วอีก2 คนคือใครอ่ะที่ดูอยู่อ่ะไม่รู้ดิก็เอลเองกับใครจะ คนหนึงอ่ะต้องเป็นสักคนหนึงดิแน่นอนว่าต้องเป็นคนที่เอลรู้จักอยู่แล้วแหละบอกมาเถอะสิ้นหวังแล้วแหละ Skibidi don't toilet Oh hi oh wrist Skibidi did ผมเหนื่อยแล้วใครก็ได้ที่ watching อยู่คนที่สองอ่ะคนที่สองแล้วก็แต่ถ้าเราจะทำตัวละครที่แบบเวลาเราพูดมันก็จะแบบSkibidi มันรู้จักเลยแต่ว่าเวลาเราหยุดพูดมันก็จะเป็นตัวสีดำๆอ่ะลืมทำยังไงอ่ะลืมไม่ลืมแน่ลืมวิธีทำโอเคไม่เสิร์ชใน YouTube แหละชื่อตัวละครว่าอะไรเงี้ยนะไม่รู้จังปุ๊บกิ๊กได้อินดูนี่นะอินดูสตรีมเลยนะดูหรือเปล่า1 2 3อินดูในจอนั้นไม่ได้ดูเลยอ๋อดูในจอนี้ก็ได้1 2 3อ๋อเห็นแล้วเวลาเอาเปลี่ยนซีนใช่ไหมมันก็จะเป็นแบบนี้นี่เรา2 คนเหมือนเดิมแล้วปิดไมค์
Studios in Stockholm, Sweden to see what they're cooking up. The studio is really cool. The entrance has this amazing mosaic artwork along the entire wall with the Ender Dragon, Alex, Steve, and loads of other Minecraft things. There were also giant pumpkins, chunky creepers, hidden plants, grass block staircases, squishy sheep, tiny creepers, muddy pig, the biggest collection of Minecraft merch, tiny house, a collection of every single Minecraft plushie ever released, props from the movie, and loads more. I also got to take a look at the and that are coming soon to the game. It's gonna make you so happy. Thank you so much to Mojang for inviting me over. I had a blast, and make sure you subscribe for more Minecraft secrets. This is me at an airport, which means I'm going somewhere. But where? Well, here. That's right. I was lucky enough to be invited to Mojang Studios in Stockholm, Sweden to see what they're cooking up. The studio is really cool. The entrance has this amazing mosaic artwork along the entire wall with the Ender Dragon, Alex, Steve, and loads of other Minecraft things. There were also giant pumpkins, chunky creepers, hidden plants, grass block staircases, squishy sheep, tiny creepers, muddy pig, the biggest collection of Minecraft merch, tiny house, a collection of every single Minecraft plushie ever released, props from the movie, and loads more. I also got to take a look at the and that are coming soon to the game.
I don't understand.
What?
These numbers, they just don't add up.
Told you, dude's totally boning us.
It's our output. We're off. We're 0.14% off.
So how far off are we?
It's not negligible. Ballparking in it, I'd say we're a quarter to a half a pound shy.
Well, what about spillage?
Spillage?
Yeah, you know, when like just stuff gets spilled.
Nothing gets spilled.
What about evaporation?
It wouldn't account for this much. The materials aren't out that long.
Oh, what about the crap that gets left behind? I had up like gallon each. You work that in?
Vestiges.
Bet that's it. Bet that's totally it. Are you coming?
Yeah, in a minute.
Jesse, come here. Couldn't chance saying it inside. For all I know, the lab's wired for sound. That's half a pound. I said we're off by. Now, I'm not accusing you, but if, you understand? And if they ever found out.
Take a shit.
I'm just saying that I won't be able to protect you.
Who's asking you to?
I don't understand.
Last time I was here,
You have to sign a waiver to eat this chicken wing because of how spicy it is. So I went to a place called Hangry Joe's where they offer 6 levels of spices ranging from no spice to angry hot, the latter of which you literally need to show them proof that you signed this waiver before you can try it. And so I started with level 1, which is no spice, and as expected, it didn't have any spice level. So on to level 2, which had a
So many elevators have mirrors inside of them, but the reasons...
Let everybody in the world have as much food as they want. Take homelessness. Let everybody in the world have somewhere to live. And war, senseless war, over, forever. Let there be no reason for anyone to make war on anyone anymore.
Yay! Yeah!
Oh, and reverse global warming.
Has it happened?
The latest nation to succumb to the sudden, mysterious, exponential growth in world food supplies is China, where the average weight is now 300 pounds and rising.
As homelessness becomes a thing of the past, the last undeveloped area of the Sahara Desert has become a gated community known as Beaugès Towers. Property developers are now converging on Antarctica.
Well, I mean, at least I got rid of war.
Wow, that was a good one. Let there be no reason to make war,
on anyone anymore. Well, how could that go wrong?
For no reason at all, New Zealand has declared war on Iceland.
Oh.
Let everybody in the world have as much food as they want.
Have you ever... I'm getting married today, and to celebrate...
This robbery that you stopped wasn't even real. Think about it. Your first day.
Drake is offering one. You can ask the.
I dug that huge rock out of my yard and it left a massive hole. So we had to fill it back in with dirt, put the sod back, and make it nice and flat again. However, since it's been raining a ton over the past couple of weeks, the repair job that I did settled a lot. Now I could just do the same thing I did in this spot, which is just put sand over it and be patient and let the grass grow through. I call this the lazy method. But in an area as big as the spot where I took the rock out, that would take forever. But just these little divots won't be that big of a deal. So what I'm gonna do here is pull the sod back up, fill the entire area with sand underneath, make it nice and flat all over again, and then put the sod back, which is crazy satisfying. I dug that huge rock out of my yard and it left a...
When setting vision...
Let's try to guess the YouTuber by their room.
Good news, guys. I found the full video for this, and to be honest, it really... Good news, guys. I found the full video for this, and to be honest, it really doesn't warrant this much censorship. The video that you guys just watched has literally zero context because of how censored it is. We can see this rope right here, we can see these people standing, and right when everything happens, the video blurs out and there's supposed to be an explanation in the pinned comment. Well, guess what? There wasn't. So I went out of my way to find the full video, and what we're looking at is a homemade Russian bungee jump slash swing combination.
What if one day you got a legal notice from an AI?
There's no battery in here. Yeah, you got me, Chuck. Dead to rights. I removed the battery. God, Jimmy, don't you know by now? Now this is real. I feel this. It's a physical response to stimulus.
Mike.
There's no battery in here. Yeah, you got me, Chuck. Dead to rights. I removed the...
Mike.
What the hell is this?
What? This is my product.
It's our product. But yeah, I was gonna cut you in.
Oh, you were gonna cut me in? No. I cut you in.
No, what the hell's your problem? All I'm asking is for you to set a meet.
Absolutely.
If I was the moon. Ready, set, go. Come on, everyone. Yes! Oh my gosh, look at all my ninjas. Ready, set, go.
A few days ago, I posted a video about why Kentucky Fried Chicken changed their name to KFC, and my explanation was wrong. You see, I explained that the name change was KFC's way of nixing the word Kentucky, so they wouldn't have to pay licensing fees. But after posting this video, I noticed some of the comments were claiming I was full of so I retraced my steps and found where I went wrong. You see, I got this information from a Snopes article. But I didn't realize that Snopes had rated this article as Lost Legend. A Lost Legend rating is their way of trolling people, and I fell for it. A few days ago, I posted a video about why Kentucky Fried...
This video is my official invitation to race speed.
See, look, this guy is so slow.
Okay, Speed. I'll give you $10,000 if you win. If I win, you pay me nothing. I'll come to you to make it easy.
What's his Instagram right now? I'm about to embarrass him. I'm about to text him right now live on stream and call him out. The name Speed. Let's continue the DMs. Let's continue this conversation and let's get this race in. $10,000, bro. I don't want to do no more talking. You come here. You come to me and let's do this race.
Throwback to 2020 when this... How long do humans live after being beheaded? Well, disturbingly, there's been a few tests on this. In 1905, a French scientist ran an experiment during a criminal's beheading. And immediately after the slice, the criminal's face and lips began to twitch. Then, the scientist yelled the criminal's name, and his half-closed eyes opened in response. Now, many question how true this is, but in 2011, researchers recorded brain activity in mice that they decapitated, and they found their brains remained active for 4 seconds, suggesting you might be conscious during your own. How long do humans live? Have you ever wondered why people wore powdered wigs throughout history? Well, the answer is pretty gross. Back in the 16th century, syphilis was spreading fast across Europe, and one of its visible symptoms was bald spots. So when the king, Louis XIII, started to naturally bald in his 20s, he began wearing these magnificent wigs to dodge the stigma that came with balding. And these wigs had to be doused with scented powder to reduce the stench, because they weren't designed to be washed. But since the king wore them, they became a fashion trend. Have you ever wondered why people wore powdered wigs?
You're alive. I'm alive.
But we saw your skeleton. You were dead.
Are you a ghost?
There had better be an amazing explanation for this.
Speak, apparition. Okay. You both deserve the truth. It all started back at the observatory. Roxanne was kidnapped. I was gonna stop you. My head wasn't in the game that day. We were kind of going through the motions. So, using my super speed, I decided to go clear my head, and I realized we had done this same silly charade our entire lives. I tried to get my mind off how I was feeling, but I just felt stuck. I began to realize, despite all my powers, each and every citizen of Metro had something I didn't. A choice. Ever since I can remember, I've always had to be what the city wanted wanted me to be. But what about what I wanted to do? Then it suddenly hit me. I do have a choice. I can be whatever I want to be. No one said this hero thing had to be a lifetime gig. You can't just quit either. That's when I got the brilliant idea to fake my death. Once your death ray hit, I've never felt so alive. So I borrowed a prop from a nearby nursing school. Metro Man was finally dead. You're alive. I'm alive.
But we saw your skeleton. You were dead.
Are you a ghost?
There had better be an
Hey, you know what?
Eat me. Anytime, loser. Oh, hey, wait, hey! Hey, you know what? Eat me. Anytime, loser. Oh, hey.
Security footage captured the woman pressing all of the buttons and nervously peeking into the hallway. Shortly after, she disappeared, leaving no trace for weeks. Later, guests began complaining about low water pressure in the hotel. And when maintenance checked the rooftop water tank, they found her body floating inside. There were no signs of foul play, and her death was ruled as an accidental drowning. But these tanks should have been sealed, and access to the roof was locked. She wouldn't have been able to get in by herself. How did she end up there, and why was she acting so strangely in the elevator? To this day, her death remains an unsettling mystery. Security footage captured the woman pressing all of the buttons and nervously peeking into the hallway. Shortly after, she disappeared, leaving no trace for weeks.
A U-turn.
Security footage captured
A U-turn correction. Too far out in front.
76%.
Nice going, nephew.
Thanks, Uncle Jack.
Where's the blue?
Where's the what?
The blue color. Does it come later when this hardens? Where is it?
I am correct in assuming this should be blue.
I'm thinking the headline here should be 76%. Yeah, a whole lot more than it was. That dude who looked like Wolverine, he couldn't crack 70.
Percentage-wise, it's marginally improved. And congratulations, Todd. But blue is our brand. All over Europe, it's what our buyers pay top dollar for. If we're down a bit in purity from the Heisenberg days, maybe they'll let us slide on that, but not if it's not blue.
I don't know, to my eye, it's kind of blue.
A little. Bluish.
Todd, you're the chef. What do you think?
Yeah, kinda. Catches the light just right. I can see how. Think there's a touch of blue, blue-green in there.
Aquamarine. Hell, we'll put food coloring in it. Make it any damn shade you want.
Yeah, like they do farm-raised salmon. I mean, Jesus, you ever see how pink they make that crap? Like flamingo. Sure as hell don't come out the ocean looking like that.
All right, let's make some money.
76%.
Nice going, nephew.
Sometimes rappers forget they're being interviewed.
Twilight Sparkle was the main character.
Can I paint the moon? Yeah, sure. Here's an easy way to paint.
How old were you when World War II started?
16 years old. I'll never forget what really stimulated me. It was the 8th of December, one day after Pearl Harbor. And we were sitting in an old car.
This ain't drumline. This ain't drumline, and this ain't grownish. This isn't any fluffy college series.
Most people think soda tabs have this hole so you can turn it around and stick a straw through it. This prevents the straw from bobbing around, keeping it in place. And while this is a pretty handy trick, it isn't the actual reason for this hole. You see, the original soda tabs had a hole big enough to stick your finger through. And this was because in the original design, you literally had to peel and pull the can open. Now, when soda companies switched to this new design, they kept the hole as a relic from the older tabs, and also because it saves on aluminum. Most people—
You can ask the flowers.
Did you notice that in Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 5, when Hank has a panic attack in an elevator, you can hear a sound in the background for a few seconds, exactly here. Which is the same sound as Jesse's bouncing car from Episode 2 of the same season, when Tuco died. Did you notice that in Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 5, when Hank has a panic attack in an elevator, you can hear a sound in the background for a few seconds, exactly here.
You can go back to your changing room and get dressed.
How'd we do?
Did fine.
See anything?
Dr. Del Cavoli will go over the results with you next week. Sorry. Bye.
When you throw a grenade, the game draws an invisible.
How many?
Here's how you make my super easy 2-ingredient.
People on Facebook are.
Hi, my name is Nate. I'm also Nate.
Okay, how can I help you?
We're here for the job opening.
But there's only one position available.
I told you.
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess it's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. He's...
Okay, what are some of your good qualities?
Well, the doctor always calls me patient. Hi, my name is Nate. I'm also Nate.
Okay.
How long does it take for items to despawn? If you're a Minecraft veteran, you're probably shouting at your screen, 5 minutes! Okay, I know no one shouted that. I'm not Dora. But it's not really 5 minutes. Like, it's 5 minutes, but it's not. It's 5 minutes when the chunk is loaded, which is a big asterisk. Besides a few exceptions like spawn chunks and ender pearl stasis chambers, chunks are only loaded when the player is near them. This means if you turn down your simulation distance to 5, it's only when you're within 80 blocks, so your items should really never despawn. How long does it take for items to despawn? If you're a Minecraft veteran, you're probably shouting at your screen, 5 minutes! Okay, I know no one shouted that. I'm not Dora. But it's not really 5 minutes. Like, it's 5 minutes, but it's not. It's 5 minutes when the chunk is loaded.
Minecraft snacks tier list. Now let's start with Minecraft toothpaste. The taste was quite pleasant, but nothing too insane here. B tier. Here we have Creeper cereal. Now I give them credit for actually making the food green here. Really embraces that Minecraft aesthetic, but cornflakes are just so depressing. F tier. The Nether sauce, which comes from the McDonald's Minecraft meal. This sauce actually caught me by surprise with how spicy it was. It hits harder than my dad and has an interesting tangy aftertaste. S tier. Minecraft Doritos. What's cool about these is that they come in a variety of flavors, but most importantly, you can try Steve's chili heat wave. I've always wanted to taste them. A tier. Now if you want to see me try all the Minecraft snacks, including this green milk, then click the video below.
Gramps, where you going? Yo, got 20 bucks you can lend me? Don't be scared. I ain't gonna bite.
I got a lot more than 20 bucks, asshole.
Hold up, Gramps. Jesse!
Hey, it's me. Wait for the thing.
This is perfect. Jesse? Jesse! Where is he? Jesse!
Hey, it's me. Wait for the thing.
This is perfect.
What happens if you visit Franklin's?
Money talking like we FaceTime day.
Minecraft, but the skyblock is random. Alright.
I've had some really incredible Comic-Con experiences.
Trapdoors aren't just good for
If you peeled off all your skin, your body would lose moisture almost immediately, causing severe dehydration. Next, you'd have no barrier to stop bacteria, so infections would spread quickly through your body. And you'd also lose heat quickly, leading to hypothermia. Finally, exposed blood vessels would leak fluid, leading to shock, a drop in blood pressure that stops organs from working. And within hours, it would be impossible to survive. If you peeled off all your skin, your body...
The most overpowered item in Minecraft is the leaf litter. Okay, maybe not the most overpowered, but they're really good. I've already gone over how they're the best early game fuel source since you can get so many so quickly and smelt 32 items with a stack. But this also makes it the best fuel for the composter, which yeah, is a really inefficient source of bone meal, but if you ever just need a few and are out of bones, you're just 30 seconds away if you're near a forest. And they're already super fast to mine, but you can get them even faster with water buckets to automatically break them. The most overpowered item in Minecraft is the leaf litter. Okay, maybe not the most over.
Somebody tell me how North Korea is a real place. They hold an election every single year where every citizen in the country must vote for a new leader. But Kim Jong-un is always the only name on the ballot. Seems reasonable. Of all things, jeans and hot dogs are banned in the country because they seem too American. I guess that's why they banned freedom too. North Korea only has 3 TV channels, 5 websites, and you can have a smartphone, but the government literally records your screen and is watching what you do on it 24/7. So that kind of takes all the fun out of it. All citizens must hang a picture of their leaders on the walls of their house, and they get inspected weekly. And if they're not hung up right or dusted daily, you go to jail. A woman once saved her kids from a house fire instead of these portraits, and she went to jail for it. In North Korea, smiling's banned every year on July 8th because that's when one of their former leaders passed. And from December 17th to the 27th, it's illegal to laugh, shop, or have fun at all because that was the day Kim Jong-un's dad died. And if that wasn't bad enough, women can only choose from one of these 18 hairstyles, and men can only choose from these 10. Somebody tell me how North Korea...
Minecraft facts in the water with Camman 18. Problem is I kind of do. Let's just recycle an old one. Let's see. Oh, did you guys know there's a crafting recipe where you can, in the first ever crafting recipe actually, you could put an arrow in like the top left, I believe, of the crafting grid, and it'd give you an apple. Or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe it was an apple to an arrow. That was the first ever. Oh God, the wind is working against me. I just realized I'm not going anywhere. Okay, we need to pick it up, guys. Enough Minecraft facts. And click here to watch the full video.
Whoa, no, that's not what he meant. No, this is a mistake. It's a big avocado. Enemigo del cartel. Enemigo del cartel. No!
These are some YouTubers that
Let me know if you guys want this graphic pack.
You pulled the trigger on your RPG, but it didn't fire. Would it work if you threw the rocket at the enemy? The Russian YouTube channel High Caliber Mayhem sets out to answer this question by dropping RPG rockets from various heights to see what happens. First of all, when the rocket is thrown by hand, no reaction occurs. Next, they mount it on a spear to ensure the warhead hits the ground directly. Even when the impact crushes the tip, which is normally designed to detonate on contact, it still doesn't explode. They try the spear method again, and even though the warhead gets bent, the rocket remains inactive. Finally, they give in and shoot it with a gun, and aside from a few sparks, the RPG still refuses to go off, so there seems to be no way to explode an RPG rocket that hasn't been activated with the trigger mechanism, but it's still useful to be careful. You pulled the trigger on your RPG, but it didn't fire. Would it work if you threw the rocket at the enemy? The Russian YouTube channel High Caliber Mayhem sets out to answer this question by dropping RPG rockets from various heights to see what happens. First of all, when the rocket is thrown by hand, no reaction occurs. Next, they mount it on a spear to ensure the warhead hits the ground directly. Even when the impact crushes the tip, which is normally designed to detonate on contact.
If you're meeting with the mafia in a restaurant and the boss knows that there is a traitor among us, there is a tactic that the mob boss uses to expose who the rat is, which the boss will take the wine bottle and will start pouring wine into each person's cup. Now the men at the table must pay very close attention. The boss pours the wine as is usual, but only for those he trusts, which a made man may have had to carry out a contract killing to show their loyalty to the Mafia. Now finally, once the boss gets to the spy, he will instead pour the wine this way to tell the rest of the group that they shouldn't talk business. If you're meeting with the Mafia in a restaurant and the boss knows that there is a traitor among us, there is a tactic that the mob boss uses to expose who the rat is, which the boss will take the wine bottle and will start pouring wine into each person's cup. Now the men at the table must pay very close attention. The boss pours the wine as usual, but only for those he trusts, which a made man may have had to carry out a contract killing to show their loyalty to the Mafia. Now finally, once the boss gets to the spy, he will instead pour the wine this way to tell the rest of the group that they shouldn't talk business. If you're meeting with
It's always that one person. It's always that one fucking person with a Messi jersey. But chat, how much you wanna bet? Chat, how much you wanna bet? As soon as he come up to me, he'll be like, I'm a big fan of Ronaldo. I love you. Watch, come here. Come here. Why you got that Messi kid?
Because I love Messi. But I love you more.
Oh, I think.
Can you make out the address on that? 1130 Royal Vista. Well, I mean, is that where we are?
There were house numbers on that mailbox, plain as day. 1130.
I don't see any.
Well, somebody messed with them. This is 1130 Royal Vista.
This is 1240 Royal Vista.
1240.
1240.
Sir, you got something with an address on it? 1240.
It's 1130. Anybody can print out something like that.
Mr. Acker's been living here for 30 years. I think he knows his own address. I have to make a call. Can you make out the address on that? 1130 Royal Vista. Well, I mean, is that where we are?
There were house numbers on that mailbox, plain as day. 1130.
I don't see any.
Well, somebody messed with them. This is 1130 Royal Vista.
This is 1240 Royal Vista.
1240.
1240.
Sir, you got something with an address on it? 1240.
It's 1130. Anybody can print out something like that.
Mr. Acker's been living here for 30 years. I think he knows his own address.
I have to show you.
There's a young man in my store. He might be armed.
Pouring gunpowder down the barrel is the first step to loading an old rifle. Next, you place a lead ball wrapped in a lubricated cloth down the barrel, sitting it on top of the powder. Using a thin rod, you push the bullet down to ensure it's tightly packed. Then you take a small amount of gunpowder and place it in the flash pan. After closing the cover, you cock the hammer. Pulling the trigger ignites the powder, which fires the ball. Pouring gunpowder down the barrel, hidden inside the massive wooden horse were Greek soldiers ready to strike. As it rolled through the gates of Troy, cheers erupted from the unsuspecting Trojans, oblivious to the danger lurking within. You see, the Greeks pretended to give up on their battle for Troy. They said the horse was a gift meant to make their city invincible. That night, while everyone slept, the Greek soldiers crept out, opened the gates, and let in the waiting Greek army. The battle for Troy reignited, leading to its ultimate downfall. Hidden in Embedding a magnet in your fingertip would It has 8-inch armor plating and 5-inch thick windows that can stop any bullet. This is the president's personal car, known as the Beast. You'll get a huge electric shock through the handle if you try to open this car door. And if that's not enough, it can release an oil slick to send enemy vehicles skidding out of control. The Beast's interior can be sealed for chemical attacks, and its tires can even roll when flat. It also carries blood matching the president's type, and its own oxygen supply, ensuring the highest level of security. It has the antlers hooked in. If you drop a loaded gun, most people.
If you use this audio,
a surgeon will make an.
You can ask the flower.
Here are the rarest animals on Earth, so you'll never see any of these. So the Sayola, also called the Asian unicorn, hasn't been seen in 12 years. There's thought to just be a few remaining in the mountains of Vietnam, hiding away. Similarly, the Ilipika is a Chinese bunny that hasn't been seen in 10 years, as there's just a handful thought to remain. A prehistoric fish called the coelacanth was thought to be extinct for 66 million years until it was rediscovered in 1938 off the coast of South Africa, somehow surviving history, but it's very rarely seen. The vaquita is the world's rarest marine animal, with only 8 remaining off of the northern Gulf of California, and it's set to become extinct unless illegal fishing nets are banned from that region. There are currently only 2 northern white rhinos left on Earth, both of which are female, which means the species is fundamentally extinct. However, scientists actually used IVF to create embryos in an effort to save them, so that region. There are currently only 2 northern white rhinos, very rarely seen. The vaquita is the world's rarest marine animal, with only 8 remaining off of the northern Gulf of California, and it's set to become extinct unless illegal fishing nets are banned from that region. There are currently only 2 northern white rhinos left on Earth, both of which are female, which means the species is fundamentally extinct. However, scientists actually used IVF to create embryos in an effort to save them, so there's a chance science can turn it around. But finally, the Stressman's bristlefront bird, which lives in Brazil, is apparently the only one remaining on Earth, and thus set to become extinct as soon as it passes away. You hate to see it. Here are the rarest animals.
So this YouTuber just ruined.
No. Oh, look at that. He's a fool, right? Oh. Adios, Nachito. Did they get him? They must have got
The soldiers fired at the magician, who would catch the bullets between her teeth. You see, the bullets were actually blanks, and when they fired, she would reveal the ones she had hidden in her mouth. But one soldier forgot to swap his round, and when the guns fired, a real bullet struck her in the stomach. Her husband rushed to help her, but the wound was too severe, and both she and their unborn child died just 2 days later. The soldiers fired. A single bullet was fired from a rifle on a 6th floor window. First, it entered JFK's upper back and traveled downward, exiting through his throat. Then it struck the governor in the back, shattering a rib as it tore through his chest. The bullet continued, exiting the governor's chest and hitting his right wrist, breaking a bone. Finally, it lodged itself into the governor's thigh, where it stayed until removed by doctors in almost perfect condition. Now, investigators claimed that this is what happened. A single bullet caused 6 wounds while staying intact. But many argue that the bullet's trajectory is impossible. The angles just don't add up, leaving us wondering if there was actually more than one bullet.
Happy guests are here, including a new crafting recipe for birthing life in the latest preview. Now, it's mostly everything we saw in Minecraft Live. You get a dried ghast under a fossil in the Soul Sand Valley, bring it back to the overworld and put it in water, a ghastling emerges after 20 minutes, and you feed it snowballs to grow a happy ghast, which you can craft a harness and ride around on. But there is some new stuff. We didn't see a dried ghast crafting recipe at Minecraft Live, but now we know it's made with 1 bone block and 8 ghast tears to craft life. I still think it's kind of weird.
These might look like ordinary candles, but 400 years ago, these might determine who your parents let you date. It's called a courting candle, and by adjusting the height of the wax, you can set how long it burns, similar to a timer. And rumor has it that fathers would set these before their daughters went on dates, and that date had to end before the flame reached the top. And the more he liked you, the higher he'd set the candle. These might look like ordinary.
I bought a flashlight that tells you how dirty you are. So they say your phone is the dirtiest thing you own, and so to test this, I bought a blacklight flashlight containing ultra-sensitive LEDs that can show you things like stains, dirt, and germs on any object in a dark enough setting, so I could figure out what the dirtiest item in my house is. Now, I started off by trying it on myself, and I was happy to report that there was nothing dirty on me, so then I decided to take it up a notch by looking at the Gorilla Couch, which, again, was actually cleaner than anticipated. From here, I checked out my keyboards, which I regularly touch and type on, and you could start to see some dirt emerging from the flashlight, but still overall pretty solid, which meant it was time to ramp it up now and going to the bathroom, starting with the toilet seat, and there wasn't actually a ton of germs that showed up, but when I did flash on top of the garbage, that was actually when I realized how dirty things could get. The door handle also had a good amount, but how did this all compare to my phone? Well, after giving it a thorough scan with the flashlight, I'm happy to report that there's not a lot of germs on my phone. However, I did find out that the dirtiest spot that's going to be in everybody's house by far is the shower drain. That thing was absolutely disgusting, so make sure you clean that out. I bought a flash. These are buttons you're pressing that literally do nothing. They just give you a false sense of control. So the open and close door buttons in elevators are notably disabled in the United States and other countries unless used by maintenance or with a key. Similarly, crosswalk buttons are usually disconnected in busy cities or just timed according to light cycles. Many office thermostats are just dummy stats and not actually connected to anything, just to reduce the number of complaints in offices. The stop button on boardwalk games involving spinning wheels don't actually have a hand in influencing where the wheel lands, which can also be said for the stop button on casino slot machines. Many eco modes on appliances like washing machines and dishwashers have a negligible amount of environmental impact.
The robber fired the gun right at his head, but at the same time, the man put his hands up to cover his face. And instead of piercing through his skull, the bullet struck his wedding ring. It deflected off the metal, splitting it into two pieces. One got stuck in his finger, and the other pierced his neck. But apart from minor injuries and a dented ring, the man walked away unharmed. The robber
Howard, you need to leave.
Who are you? Me? Nobody. I just need to talk to my lawyers. You want some advice? Find better lawyers.
The origins of meme sounds, the Get Out sound, came from a GTA roleplay YouTube short. The YouTuber went to a car meet with a Lightning McQueen car with large wheels and someone yelled at him to get out. This nope sound comes from the engineer class in the video game called Team Fortress 2. The game released in 2007 and it's one of the voice lines players can use. The old Roblox oof sound originally came from a video game from the year 2000 named Messiah. The sound effect sometimes played if you flew into a wall and it was in cutscenes of the game. It was removed from Roblox because of a licensing issue. The origins of meme sounds, the Get Out sound, came from a GTA roleplay YouTube short. The YouTuber went to a car meet with a Lightning McQueen car with large wheels and someone yelled at him to get out. This nope sound comes
De Guzman.
$7 million?
Yep.
$7 million. Where'd it come from?
It's not for me to ask where a client gets his money.
And just who exactly is your client?
Jorge De Guzman. De Guzman.
$7 million?
Yep.
$7 million. Where'd it come from?
It's not for me to ask where a client gets his money.
And just who exactly is your client?
These are some videos that nobody...
A pigeon slammed right into his face, and he instantly lost consciousness while riding his motorcycle. But as he blacked out, his hand twisted the throttle, pushing the bike's speed beyond 120 miles per hour. Within seconds, he veered off the road and smashed straight into a tree. flying through the air. He landed hard on the pavement, shattering his leg and causing multiple fractures to his skull. Fortunately, he was rushed to the hospital where he managed to survive. A pigeon slammed right into his face, and he instantly lost consciousness while riding his motorcycle. But as he blacked out, his hand twisted.
I just turned your light.
If you stepped on the wrong tile, it would push down on a hidden lever. This would release a string, which ran under the floor and up to a series of crossbows. Once the string snapped back, the arrows were triggered, shooting right at the spot where you stood. Now, you might think this only exists in movies, but according to legend, one ancient Chinese tomb actually uses this booby trap. Only no one's ever dared to open it and find out. If you stepped on the wrong tile, it would push down on a hidden lever. This would release a string, which ran under the floor and up to a series of crossbows. Once the string snapped back, the arrows were triggered, shooting right at the spot where you stood. Now, you might think this only exists in movies, but according to legend, one ancient Chinese tomb actually uses this booby trap. Only no one's ever dared to open it and find out. If you stepped on the wrong tile, it would push down on a hidden lever. This would release a string, which ran under the floor and up to a series of crossbows. Once the string snapped back, the arrows were triggered, shooting right at the spot where you stood. Now, you might think this only exists in movies, but according to legend, one ancient Chinese tomb actually uses this booby trap. Only no one's ever dared to open it and find out. If you stepped on the wrong tile, it would push down on a hidden lever. This would release a string.
But I'm here to bust out my dad. Meet Walter Hardy.
That face. Black Cat's father murdered Uncle Ben. Just so you know, there is no way I'm letting you bust this guy out.
I'm sure you've heard